right, and so this is the MMEA Elementary Division New Teacher Meeting, and so me and some veteran teachers are super excited to talk to everybody. For those who are missing it, we are recording this if you want to come and watch this later. So we're super excited to present this to you. So a little bit about me, if I can get that clicker thing to work. Come on, click. There it goes. A little bit about me. I am a graduate of Dell State University. I've got my bachelor's in music education, my master's from University of Southern, and I just recently graduated with my doctorate in 2021 from Auburn, which was an amazing experience. So if anybody's looking to get an ed specialist or a doctorate, they have a great hybrid online program. I've been at Riverside for 19 years. I've taught everything from elementary all the way through high school, and I do private voice lessons. And so right now I have many hats, and y'all can read there the number of hats that I have on, including everything else that I got going on. But so I threw together, and you guys could probably chime in on some things you've learned in your years that they don't tell you when you're getting that degree. This was one of the first things I thought of. I'm thinking, what are some things I wish I had known coming out of the gate into my own classroom? And even student teaching, there are some things that once you get your own room, you don't even know from student teaching. So one thing that I learned is classroom management is dependent on your situation. So I kind of learned as to what my teacher intern taught me, and I took that and have done some modifications to it. And even things that you try may not work. And I found that each class has its own personality. So some things you do for one class in the same grade may not work for another class in the same grade. And one thing I do since I teach first through sixth, I have 3 to 4 sections of each grade. We do something called the quarter note board. So if they have a good behavior for that day for the whole class, they have to draw a quarter note. And once they reach 16, they get a reward day. And so if they have it's an okay day, they'll put a half quarter note. I'll teach them how to draw the little flag like an eighth note and things like that. And this year we started Class Dojo with our elementary school. So I've linked it in. When they get their quarter note, the whole class gets a point. So I've been able to go into Dojo as a co-teacher. They had all our activity teachers and co-teachers, and I was able to do that. So I was going to ask you two that are in here with us, what are some techniques that y'all use for classroom management that seem to work?
I do something very similar to that. I just do, because I have 4th and 5th grade. And so I have a staff, and we're learning the notes of the staff. And so they have to spell face, or they have to put EGBDF up there. I usually give them F just for walking in the door. And then every activity that we do, if they did well on that activity, then they get an A. And then if they did well on the next activity, they get a C. And then if they played a game at the end of the day, well, then they get an E. And then if they spell face, then they get an award walking out the door, and which lets their teacher know that they did a really good job. So then I feel like they can see their progress. And it's definitely nice to go over there and be like, y'all, I'm going to take this A down because this is not working. And they're like, shh. And so that is really helpful in 4th grade. In 5th grade, honestly, we're learning Christmas program right now, and I forget to go over there and put the stuff up. So that is the downfall of that. And by the end of the class, I'm like, really? I think you could have done a better job. I'm sorry. or either, oh yeah, y'all did a great job. We're going out the door. But 5th grade, they're not as, excited about it as 4th grade is. And that's also me. I mean, I'm not playing it up in 5th grade because they're older and we got to get this stuff done. We got to get these songs learned and stuff like that. So I'm just moving on along. Mm-hmm. But that helps in my classroom. I like it. And it also teaches them the letters. It reinforces the letters. But I really like your quarter note. I might change that up I like how if it was an okay day, then they got an eighth note. And so then they have to make up the next eighth note to make it a full quarter note. So then they can get 16 quarter notes. I like that.
Yeah. And
I love both of those ideas. Those are great.
Yeah. And if I have a class that's just they're because you got that one class that's always kind of the worst class of the bunch in the whatever grade it is. And I'll always kind of make them, all right, I'm going to make y'all a deal for the day. Because y'all are behind in those coordinates, your behavior. If you do extra good today, I'll give you 2. And I really build it up like, y'all, I don't make this offer very often. Y'all better take advantage of it. So, and if they don't get it, I was like, man, y'all could have gotten 2 today. So I just make a really big deal. But even my 6th graders take those quarter notes seriously, and they keep me on track. And if I forget, like if we had a great day and did we get a quarter note today? Are we getting a quarter note today? Like they keep me on track with it. So they really do enjoy the quarter note system. But because I do all the grades, I just have a giant wall where I've got all the coordinates laid out, and I'll put a yellow strip once they reach their 16. They have their reward day, and then they start earning another 16. So that yellow strip's kind of like, look at us, we were awesome, we got there first. And even the class out of the grade that gets there first, they get a little something extra if they can get their 16 first before everybody. So I just, as many incentives as I can throw into there to get them to behave. And you know, some, like you said, the 5th graders, they're not so much on that, but I find that, you know, 6th grader for me is where they kind of start losing interest, but you still have those kids that are kind of holding on. No, man, we got to get those coordinates. So it's in, you know, this year with our elementary is actually going pretty well. Last year our 6th graders were a handful, but this year's been a good year for elementary so far. But
I always
go ahead.
I always have an award presenter, like they get to present the award to the teacher. And I mean, that award presenter is always like, did we get our award? Even in 5th grade, they're like, did we get our award?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you like you said, you just kind of keep it going because you just, you gotta make it through the 40 minutes and like whatever excitement that you can build over it.
Exactly. Yeah, and our 3rd through 6th graders also have clipboards that they send with the class each week, and we can give marks on the clipboard if they, you know, for like excessive talking, not on task and things like that. And so sometimes all I gotta do is grab that clipboard, and they get real quiet real fast. So, but yeah, so that's what, we're such a small school. Like all of us really work together to help with the behavior for the kids, and these teachers are very involved, and they'll come in. Did they get the coordinate today? So, and you know, like my 1st graders, like Miss, she's gonna be very mad if y'all don't get your quarter note, and just anything you can do to help that. And it also gets those homeroom teachers involved a little bit when they see that award chart. So I like that, presenting the award to the teacher. That I might do that for like the class that gets their 16 first is kind of a special little thing. I like that. Another thing that they never told me and that I wish I had known was the amount of paperwork you have to do on a weekly basis, other than lesson plans, because it's so much. And I guess for me, it's because I do the gambit of elementary through high school. It's kind of compounded, and I do more for junior high and high school than I do for elementary, but still it's a lot of things that you really have to put in your PGS binders, instructional management plans that you have to do, and just everything. And I don't know if it's just my school district, but just the amount of paperwork we have to do besides the lesson plan part is kind of took me by surprise my first few years. I've gotten used to it now, but it did catch me off guard. Another thing that I have learned: document. Making it from me to the office to the central office. Sometimes things get lost. I always make copies of everything that I submit. That way, if it does get lost in the shuffle, even our elementary all-state, my requisition got lost in the shuffle. So I had to really fast put in another one to try. I called my bookkeeper. Have you gotten it yet? No. So I had one on hand that I could just pull right out of my little folder I got on my wall of all my requisitions and documentations that I do, any fundraisers we do. So I've learned to back up copies on everything, and keep it in hand so you can snatch it if you got to get it in real fast. And that's another great thing about being in a small district. I actually have my bookkeeper on speed dial, and she's a family friend, so I'm able to, like, did you get that? Okay, we're looking through the system. No, okay, let me go do this. So
And
that
also,
really helped.
I just wanted to say, I mean, that side of it, like totally, we need to keep copies of everything. I also scan everything in and keep it on my computer. But also documenting like things that go on in the school. Like we're in a very litigious day and age, and it's good to keep documents of what's going on in the schoolhouse. So
Yeah.
just covering yourself. I always keep a notebook, and I kind of jot down things when I need to jot down things, especially like parent contact, you know, that kind of thing. So documenting is very important for yourself and for, you know, as the teacher aspect of things. But
Definitely. And so we have someone joining us, Markel. So would you like to introduce yourself real quick? I don't know if the audio is working yet, if you can hear me. Oh, he is connecting to audio as we speak. So, oh, there we go. All right, we're going to say hi, Markel. Thank you for joining us today. See if he unmutes. Hopefully he can hear. All right, well, I'm going to move on, and hopefully the audio is working for him as we go. So another thing that I wish that they had told me, and this is something I learned, especially my first few years, not every lesson you try is going to work. So don't be afraid to modify on the spot. Because I have learned like a lot of stuff that, oh man, that looks like a really good lesson, and it's just not working the way I thought it would work. And so I've got to do a quick pivot to try and get it to, work to get to the goal that I'm trying to get them to. Also, I've learned that from same grade, class to class, that lesson's not going to work the same for each grade. Because like I said earlier, it seems like each class has their own personality. And so the way I do the lesson with one class is not going to, oh, I think his audio did not work. So, but we're still recording, so be able to come in. But when I'm going from day to day, I'm noticing that I'm having to modify each day if the class is just not picking up, because you have some of the classes that maybe that teacher got lucky and they got all those the gifted students and they're picking up on it quick. Maybe this teacher, this is the group that struggles a little bit more, so you got to do this. And so I always have some enrichment lessons on the backdrop. I always have some modifications to the lesson just in case I have to, think on the fly as I'm going throughout the week. So that's something that I have learned. And definitely stuff that even now I'm finding trying new lessons and like, oh, that's just not working. Maybe I could do it this way, or I'm just not going to be able to do that ever again because it just not how it work. Let's see if we can come at this from a different angle. That's just some things that I've learned over my years. And I don't know if that's the same for you guys.
What I've started doing is in my lesson plans, I have like a column that's reflection. And then after I do my lesson plan, because I know my lesson by like the back of my hand by Friday, because I see 14 classes of fourth graders and 14 classes of fifth graders. So I could like do it in my sleep. You know what I mean? And so I go back and say, well, this is what I actually did. So then the next time I want to do it, then I'm like, what did I actually do? So that I don't look at my old lesson plan that I thought was going to work.
Yeah,
reflection really helps me.
Yeah, I keep my lesson plan binder. I have a little cart that I can have my computer on that's next to the piano, and I keep my lesson plan binder right there. So if I do something and after I leave, I can jot down the changes that I made to what I was doing so that I know for the next, and I keep that binder for the next year, and I can go in and when I'm planning for the next year, because you're going to, like you said, by this point, if you've done these plans over and over again, the basics, you know them by the time you get to the end of the week. So I always keep the previous year's plans so I can go in and look. And when I did this activity, what didn't work for me? What did work for me? How did I modify it? When did I move this activity here? So I always try to keep it updated as I go. And that's something that has definitely helped me. And the other thing I have learned, every day is an adventure. These kids, oh man, the things they say, they keep you cracked up all day long. And it's just, and some of them you just got to have that patience, but every day is definitely an adventure. So are there some things that you guys wish that you had known coming into the classroom for the first time?
Classroom management was my big thing. I had to learn that on the fly because I didn't learn any of that.
Yeah, so that's something I noticed too. They really in the undergraduate classes, they really don't cover the classroom management as I think they should. And I think that's something that even in the music education classes, I wish they would go into a little bit. Sorry, I have a cat over here playing with the tambourine. So
for me, it was like I remember taking a class on classroom management. So classroom management really wasn't that wasn't it for me. For me, it was more starting teaching. I felt like being a music teacher was almost like being a program planner. And I didn't get any of that in college. Like it was all about, methodology and, how to teach XYZ. And then I felt like when I got my first job, it was like, what program are you doing this month? What program? I was like, hey, I didn't learn that in college. So that was something I kind of wish I had to learn, because it took me a minute to kind of be able to piece together a program, but anyway.
Yeah. And I've had some years where we've got programs planned and those kids are just not behaving well. I even had the principal, I was over in the central office, and she called me and she said, these kids, we're canceling their sixth grade show. So they cannot cooperate over here in this hallway. They're not allowed to do a show. So I've had that happen to me before. But yeah, that was another thing because coming out of the gate, I had big dreams of these programs, and then I'm just like, I'm a little over my head here because nobody told me the best practices to do this. So, and now I've gotten to the point where like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, ABC, we get it done. So it's definitely over time you learn how to do that. But yeah, that's another thing I really feel like they don't teach in the elementary music methods classes, because you
I
come.
don't think I don't remember hearing in any class that I would teach a program. Like it never crossed my mind that like I would like do programs. Like, and then my first job, I was doing 11 programs a year. So I really was just, that's all I did, really was
Yeah,
programs.
I had one job that I was looking at over town over, and right out of the gate, got to do a program every month with every grade. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay.
That was what it was. And some schools seem like, they need more parental involvement. So what they end up doing is saying, okay, we'll do a program so we can get parents to come up to the school, which is great on one end, but it can be a lot of work.
Yes, yes, it can. So we're actually getting geared up for our Christmas program. We're doing a Charlie Brown Christmas. So
Oh, I
yeah,
love it.
so that's going to be interesting. I've got a lot of songs we got to learn the next few weeks. So, but and lesson plan ideas. Here's some things that I have found that has worked for me. One thing that I go to, I spend hundreds of dollars on this every school year. I'm not even joking about this. Teachers pay teachers. Oh my gosh, teachers pay teachers. I have spent so much money. You find so many great activities on there, worksheets, free resources. We're getting ready to do a turkey lurkey football blitz activity with third grade next week, teaching them some more complex rhythms. So I'm really looking forward to that. So it's teachers pay teachers has just been a great resource for me.
What did
Fun
you call
music.
it? Turkey lurkey? I'm gonna look that up now.
Yeah, it's turkey. It's oh gosh, turkey lurkey rhythm. Turkey lurkey rhythm. And I don't have a color printer. I've got a high school girl that comes in every morning. What do you need me to do, Dr. Holloman? All right, so I will set things up for her the day before. Lizzie can do this in the morning. So she's getting my turkey lurkey things ready for me by coloring in the little helmets, because I don't have a color printer. And it's got this activity where each team's got a different helmet color. You tap a rhythm, they have to race over to the other side of the room to find that rhythm that matches. That's the blitz one. And then the turkey lurkey's got a whole mess of activities, and I think it
Yeah.
was like $3.25 for this. And I have found rhythm wars and solfege wars on Teachers Pay Teachers. That, I mean, it was a bit more than the smaller things, but it worth it. 100. They love doing the Jedi rhythm wars things with the grades, and they poison patterns with these rhythms. She's got pre-made videos. It's absolutely fantastic. What's great about Teachers Pay Teachers, when you purchase some items, the person who put it up will do updates. So I have this music and film package that I purchased, and I went to re-download it because I couldn't find it on my computer this past school year for my sixth graders. And she had updated all the PowerPoints, updated all the worksheets. So when I downloaded, I got the whole fresh updates, and I didn't have to pay for it again. So I thought that was really neat. So definitely like check for those updates. I've gotten a lot of Google Chrome Music Lab activities off of there. I've gotten some activities where they're actually composing with the song maker on Chrome Music Lab. There's some iPad things you can find. I know I like hit a lot of the virtual stuff when we were hybrid and virtual for COVID, and there are some things that I could post, and I found that really, really helpful. Fun Music Co. is one that I've stumbled upon here recently. They offer free and paid resources, curriculum ideas. You can download full curriculums from there, and they even offer trainings. So like especially for new teachers who are coming in and they need that training on like classroom management or planning programs or just anything you can think of, it does offer training. So I thought that was really great for Fun Music Co. And it has lesson plans that you can download. I think they do have a subscription service, or you can pay per download. That's really what they got. Now, something that I've stumbled upon here recently, and I'm getting ready to put together a presentation on this for the future, but Chat GPT. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of Chat GPT before, probably, but it's the new AI phase that's out there right now. And what I'm playing around with it, learning some things about Chat GPT, it actually can generate lesson plans, full on, full fledged, thought out, activity full materials, resources you need, full on lesson plans. And all you've got to do is go in and type so what's the name of it? Well, somebody's asking what's the name of it. Which oh gosh, can't type today, one specifically. Let me make sure he's knowing which one specifically we're asking about. So with ChatGPT, I typed in create a lesson plan around the composer Bach. And it straight up spit several, a few pages of lesson plan, and you can download that. You can modify it how you need it. So if you're looking for a quick lesson plan on the go and you don't have any ideas, or you're having, oh my gosh, I got to get this unit in this next week, I don't have any ideas, I can't find anything, boom, go to ChatGPT and type it in. And there's even some places that have used the AI generators where you can talk to composers. I know 3minutetheorymusic.com is one. It's I downloaded, I got the subscription for my high school choir, but I can also use it for elementary. They've got Bach, Mozart, and Beethoven, and you can have full-on AI generated chats with these guys. And there's history channel's got one as well, a fully chat generated one. You can chat back and forth with historical figures. And there's another one that I downloaded recently. I can't think of the names. I think it starts with a B. It's like BTP or something like that, but it's one you can go in and chat with composers. And it's so neat watching the kids. I tell them, write any question down that you want to ask this composer. And, we can type it in. I had a kid ask Beethoven, what do you think about writing a musical dragon? And I told him, ask whatever you want. And he spit out an answer. So it was pretty neat. So ChatGPT is a way that you can go in and create those lesson plans or generate activities, and it can even create chord progressions. So if you're looking for an activity, it can create chord progressions. If you write or record a song using these notes, it won't put it on a staff, but it'll spit out notes or chords that you can kind of put together on a staff yourself. So ChatGPT is, I'm starting to learn it, but it's pretty neat so far. Does have some pitfalls because some kids can use it to cheat on their papers on the high school levels, and I have discovered that. But as far as creating lesson plans, it's, if you need something quick and fast, I'm telling you, ChatGPT is an up-and-coming resource you can look into. Teachers.net is another one that's not specific to music, but it does have some music lessons. It also has chart boards, possible projects that you can do, research articles on there, and even live chats with other teachers that are on teachers.net. I don't know about you guys, but have y'all found any lesson plan hacks that you could get something quick if you need, besides the ones that are here?
Probably just the things that I've used the most for rhythm and stuff like that is the rhythm play alongs that you can find on YouTube and stuff like that. Like all those things that we found during COVID to do with the kids, where they didn't have to touch and stuff like that. So and the ukulele play alongs, like we do ukulele, and so I'm using ukulele play alongs like crazy, because you feel like you're actually in their songs that they like and stuff like that. So that is not very, new and upcoming, but that's what I use a lot.
Well, I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because I put that on the next slide, as a matter of fact, because I have discovered a lot of these play alongs as well. So you can see I have YouTube listed here, and I've got full playlist of rhythm play alongs, instrument play alongs, boom whacker play alongs, recorder play alongs, any kind of, and they have so much fun. We even did one today called the skeleton dance, and it was instruments, but they have instruments matched into color, and they'll tap when the little skeleton taps their stuff. They absolutely love it. We've done I have a boom whacker and an instrument version of In the Hall of the Mountain King that we're doing, what we did with third grade this week. So it just, they absolutely, second grade, they absolutely love it. Like the play alongs have been a lifesaver, especially the rhythm ones for the younger kids, getting them to keep up with those patterns and know where they are for the first.
And the kids really like them. Like it's music they like. It's visual. They love those.
Yeah. And we found a Halloween one today. My fifth graders, they kind of as a wrap up, they were ahead of all the other classes. So I kind of gave them a little extra activity, and we did Michael Jackson's Thriller, and they got the rhythms, the drumsticks out, and we were bucket drumming, because we're big on bucket drums in our classroom. So they absolutely love the bucket drums. I'm learning ukulele. I'm gonna let myself learn it before I introduce it. So I'm learning it, but we do recorders and bucket drums, and they have a lot of fun with those. One thing that I have found, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of her, but bethsnotes.com. Bethsnotes.com has been phenomenal lifesaver for me. She has got hundreds of folk songs, on her website. If you need a folk song just using me and so, she has got it. So la, so me la, she's got it. If you want a folk song from France, she's got it. I go to her even when we're doing some warm-ups with high school. We do a warm-up called Ah Poor Bird. I'll type Ah Poor Bird Beth's notes and it pops up on the screen behind me, and they're able to sing along with it as they're reading the notation. And it's absolutely, and she's got links to videos at the bottom where it's the movement activities or the game that goes with it. She finds videos on YouTube that she can put at the bottom of the page with the song. She'll put possible chord progressions, and if you pay for her service, you get access to worksheets and all kinds of other stuff. But Beth's Notes is absolutely phenomenal for anyone who's never heard of her before. Of course, Teachers Pay Teachers. I cannot talk about Teachers Pay Teachers enough. I absolutely love this website. Midnight Music, because I'm a music technology specialist. Midnight Music is one that I have found. It's, you could use it for more your advanced elementary grades, but I have found, because we're here in the Delta, birthplace of the blues, we found a lesson on Midnight Music on creating blues music via GarageBand on the iPad. And so years ago, thanks to my advisor at Auburn University, we were able to work up a grant to get Title IV funding for a set of iPads for the classroom. And so we're able to use the iPads to create blues music. And that's kind of a wrap up to our tour around America I do with fifth grade every year. And I got that off of Midnight Music. So she's got a few free lessons you can do with some technology stuff. You don't even need iPads to use. She's got some Chrome Music Lab lessons on there. You do have to pay to get the more advanced stuff, but there's also trainings. I'm also always getting emails about workshops that she's coming out, new technology that's out there. I just recently got an email about something called Pizza Grooves, which is a neat little, I'm not really gonna say it's AI generated, but it's like this circle with all these different rhythms, and you click certain ways and it makes it, I'm still playing with it. But so when you subscribe to her newsletter, you get all the new latest stuff. Not stuff that you have to have computers or iPads in the room for, stuff that you can do just if you got a whiteboard or even without. So she's got some great resources on there. We already talked about the amazingness that is YouTube when you find the, those good videos that'll work for you. And some videos though, I found you can't save it to a playlist. So I've got a video links that I've saved all these different links in my Google Docs to keep up. Music Play Online, I'm going to get into them a little bit more in a minute, but I found a couple of things that they have on their website that I found completely invaluable. And like I said, I'm going to get onto them in just a moment. Classics for Kids. I don't know if you guys Classics for Kids, but they have podcasts where she talks about different composers. She also has games where you can do staff notation on there. So that's really fun to do. She got all kinds of different games, rhythm games and all kinds of neat stuff. But Classics for Kids, another fun one. Making Music Fun is one that I found quite a few neat worksheets on. We found some treble and bass clef crossword puzzles that I can do with my elementary. There's a coloring one where you listen to the music by that composer and you have to color certain parts based on what the music sounds like. If it's loud or soft, you use this color or this color. So I found that music, Making Music Fun is another great resources. Do you have any that y'all would like to add to my list here?
And Making Music Fun, is that still like $30 a month, I think, and that's it?
They do have a few free things. I have found some free worksheets there. You have to really look for them. And there are some of them you do have to pay for, but there are some free items you can get on there. But I'm the queen of free. So if I don't have to subscribe to it, I'm not gonna. If I can get it for free, I'm gonna do it. Teachers Pay Teachers is probably the only thing that I really spend the money on, just because there's so many great resources on there. But if I can find it for free, man, I'm gonna find it for free. Like every app we use on the iPads in the classroom, free, completely free. So I'm the queen of free when it comes to stuff. So just, I have so many grades I have to plan for, and it's, easy to find those resources that are for free. There's even, if you've got iPads, oh my gosh, there's one on there called Opera Maker, where I do with my second graders and they can create their own opera. And it's a blast. They build their own characters. They learn the difference between arias and recitatives. They get to put their own music in, props, create their own scenes, and then they can watch their opera at the end. It's very basic, but it is so cute and they absolutely love it. So Opera Maker is one, and it's free. It's completely free on the iPad, which shocks me. They really should be charging for this thing because it is.
Hey,
yeah, I know.
Don't do that.
Yeah, no, don't charge for it. But it's based in the UK. Is it when you download it, you have to it comes in German, and you have to hit the button to the flag to change it to English. So I tell them, don't worry about the weird notes, the weird words, just hit this button, you'll be fine. So when they first open it, but it's really a lot of fun to watch them put their little operas together. But yeah, anything I can find for free, I'm all about it. So that's why I love Beth Notes. Like, she's got so much on there for free. YouTube, free, just all kinds of classics for kids, free. I love the free stuff. So, and then I've got, here's some useful website, and this is what I wanted to go into on the Music Play Online stuff. And I've actually got it pulled up on my computer. I don't know why I stopped the share. Give me just a moment, you guys. I'm going to pull this up here and then reshare. So back to Zoom. Okay, let me share my screen on this one. Okay, so this is a couple websites that I found on Music Play Online. I absolutely love both of these. This is their rhythm composer, and you can see the different levels they have here on the rhythm composer. And I created boxes. I'm just going to go to level 2 here. I created worksheets that look very similar. Oh, come on. To these boxes here. So I created worksheets where it's hearts on the top, and then each of the boxes are numbered in the upper corner. I just did it with a table on Microsoft Word, and they have to draw in their own bar lines. And I explained to them, you see how the lines are thick and black? That's because every 4 beats, we have to separate it out. And when you click a note, it puts it in the box. And so they're able to, as they're learning to compose, we work through this with them, and I'll have each student pick out what they're, what do y'all want to go in box number 2? What do you want for beat number 3? And then I can actually have them pull it up on the iPad. I've got it shortcuts on the iPads where they can click and start creating their own patterns independently. And they've got all kinds of levels on here, all the way up to even doing 6/8 with triplet and syncopated patterns. Absolutely fantastic. It's a long, and I found you can't go to Music Play Online and look it up. You have to have the direct link to do it. That's the only catch that I found to it, but again, completely free. Along with that, they have their staff composer, which goes everything they learn to just compose with basic, so, and me. And the 1 circle would represent the ta, the 2 circles would represent their TT, and of course they have their beats of silence. But the staff composer is great. I just recently been using that with my 2nd graders, working them up into so, la, and me. So I'm going to click back on the menu here. So we were doing the so, la, mi, where they learned that la actually goes above, and you can see it actually has it marked here on the side. So again, I create worksheets that look almost similar to what you're seeing on the screen, so that they can draw it out with their own hands. But they make them put in their own bar lines so they can start getting that concept of separating out the measures. And then if you want it even more advanced, you go into level 7. It's got multi-beats. You can put it wherever you want. So if you got older elementary kids, they can just full on compose all kinds of melodies using all these different. And the only thing about this is you got to get it set just right, or it pops away. So that is a little aggravating. So the kids kind of get aggravated. It goes like, keep trying till you get it where you want it. But I have found that these 2 items have been a great resource, and all you need is paper that you created to look like the notation, so that they can follow along, put it up on your projector or smartboard, and just show them the process. And then if you have a way for them to do it individually, by all means do it that way. And once they know how to do it, you don't even have to have an iPad where they manipulate it. They can just go in and draw it in the boxes or on the lines themselves once they get used to it. So these both have been absolutely phenomenal resources for me. And then one that I have put together has kind of been a little pet project of mine, is my personal website that I've been working on since I was working on my doctorate, Dr. Holloman's music class. And it started out as a website for my high school kids to go through to access some things they needed for virtual learning. And once that was over, I repurposed it. And so now I've got it set up where they can go in elementary music corner. You can actually find links to resources. You can find links to resources. This is my virtual lesson video archive, where you can go into my YouTube channel and look up some lessons, how I did them. And this is where you can actually go in, where I've got the links to these different things here. And I even go in and do reviews of things. So if I go to the technology corner, because technology is kind of something I'm real passionate about, and apparently my technology button is not working. But you can go in the technology corner, and I've done Kahoot reviews, Look It reviews, how to use Opera Maker, things like that. And because I have a private studio, I have the private studio corner. I'm working on getting some Music K8 PowerPoints up that you can't find on the Music K8 website. Because, you know, here, since I think it's since volume 21, 22, they've been putting up their own projectable lyrics on PowerPoints. But before,
Really?
say it again.
Really? Now that's something I
Mhm.
did not know.
Yeah,
How
all
do
you
you
gotta,
get access to that?
yeah, okay. Do you have a subscription, I'm assuming?
Not right now, but I have up to volume 26, 20. Like I'm
Okay.
up there.
Well, all you really got to do is you got to create an account. You just go to Music K8, you create the account. Let me see if I can actually pull that up for you real quick. Music8.com. You can always
'Cause I'm
tell the
gonna tell
websites
you
I go
that
to.
that was one of the reasons I stopped. Like I have
Mhm.
all of them.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
number one, but I stopped because I felt like I wasn't like it's not like the kids now need to see everything. Like
mhm.
like it's not just sheet music
Yeah,
anymore.
so once you create an account, that's really all you got to do. You just create an account, you go into past issues, and then like say for I'm just going to go to volume 31 here. You go into there, then you lyric PowerPoints.
What?
And you did that, and right there, projectable lyrics.
So, okay. How does it know which ones you've purchased?
I don't think it does, to be truthful. I mean, I've got them all, but I really don't think it does. And I think, and you can see here, volume 22. Let me see how far back it goes. Yeah, so volume 22 is when they started posting projectable lyrics.
Okay.
And then I really don't think, because if you got up to volume 26, really
Yeah.
just go in and create an account, because I don't think they charge you for that.
Well, hot dog.
Yeah, I really don't. Now, I have gone in, there was a website years ago called musicbulletinboards.net, and she had a little stash of all kinds of PowerPoints for Music K8 that had, because of course, up until 21, they hadn't done PowerPoints for anything on the web.
No.
So I've gone in and found out. So I'm trying to find the space somewhere. That's my problem for putting up the PowerPoints that I have up to volume 22. I'm not going to put 22 and up because I feel like that would be kind of copywriting on them because they already have them up. So anything that I have up to volume 21, I'm trying to find the space online somewhere I can post it where people can go in and download it. So that right now is still a project coming. And then my bucket drumming corner, if you go into here, I've got like a presentation that I did years ago on how to start with bucket drumming. I mean, this thing is a project, and I put up videos as I can. All right, pause. And I've given out a video on how to tour my website. And, like I said, it's continually under construction. I had a teacher ask me one time, how are you posting videos straight onto Schoology where they can access it through Schoology for that's our LMS we use here. And, can you show our teachers how to do it? Well, let me create a tutorial video. And I sent it to our teachers, and then I repurposed it as a tutorial video to put specifically on our website. And I think I've got it on one of these. I don't remember which one, but it's on here somewhere. And it all links to my YouTube channel where I upload. So I have some editing software that I use to create this. But again, it's a little pet project of mine, but I'm hoping to make it all encompassing that somebody can go to and find access to resources and different things like that. So that's just a little something I've been working on. And I'm going to bring this back up. Oh, let me go here. Yeah, there we go. Back to there. Oh, back it up. Of course, if you don't know about Kahoot and Blooket yet, you get woof. Kahoot and Blooket are absolutely phenomenal. I love these two things, especially Blooket for my younger grades, because with Blooket, if anybody doesn't know about it, you can actually go in and set it up, and they love the gold quest. That's like their absolute favorite because they get to steal gold from each other. But it's like Kahoot on their screens. You just see like what's happening, who's stealing gold, what their gold's points are. And then they get little activities they get to do if they get the question right. So this is them working individually. So like Kahoot, you do it kind of as a class and they answer via their device. But for Blooket, they get to go in, and the Gold Quest, Crypto Hack is another one they absolutely love. The dinosaur one where they actually get to mine for dinosaur eggs and stuff like that. Man, they love that. Or you can play it as a regular Kahoot like that, because you can set that up as well. There's all kinds of game modes on Blook It that are just absolutely so much fun. Anytime we pull up Blook It as kind of an ender to their unit, my third graders are like, gold quest, absolutely gold quest. And across the room, you stole all my gold, and I'll read out what's happening on the readout on my screen, and it's just, and I'll do it like a game show host, and they absolutely love it. And the dirty looks across the room, and it's really a blast just watching them play. And when they, it recycles the question, so it gives them chances to get them right as they go, and realize how they got the question wrong if they do get it wrong as they go. So those are just two. My high school kids love Kahoot. I don't know what it is, my high school and Kahoot this year, but every day, can we play Kahoot today? No, we got rehearsals. We got things to do. But they Blook It for my elementary. If we're going to do something, that's what third grade asked for, is Blook It. And I actually learned about this through my third grade a few years back. And I've, some of the teachers use it in their classroom. Some of the newer teachers don't know about it yet. So I'm just telling anybody I can about Blook It. Absolutely great resource. And you can assign things as homework. If you're using an LMS and you have that grade level that you can put something up on your LMS as homework for them to do, you can actually assign. Some of the activities are specifically to be assigned as homework. You can't play them in class. I think like tower defense, you actually have to put up as a homework or something like that. But those are two excellent assessment resources. And then of course, I didn't know if anybody had any questions or anything you guys want to contribute to the end of the conversation real quick before we wrap things up.
I found a lot of good stuff. I'm sorry.
I'm not a new teacher, but I hopped on.
Me too.
So like I said, technology has kind of been a thing for me. So I've done, like, I spend a lot of time researching, especially throughout the summer, see anything I can use, and I'll set up things as we go. And that website's been a pet project. So that's how I've been able to kind of get onto all this stuff, is trying to find what I can, updated stuff, make sure I'm educated on it, so I can do my reviews on my YouTube channel to educate other people. Is kind of a passion of mine right now, is that next generation. So of teachers coming up. So if you need to contact me, I've got a couple of email addresses that I use, and there, of course, again, is my website if you want to go check it out. Excuse the construction, it is a pet project in progress, but again, it's just something I love to do, and I always have so much fun doing it. So hopefully that was helpful to anyone who's joined us today, or anyone who's watching later on. And I didn't know if you guys had any final thoughts y'all wanted to contribute to anybody who might be watching this.
Well, Liam,
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. I mean, I feel like you should have charged us to be here. You've got lots of good information. So, and I mean, really not just for new teachers, because a lot of this I didn't know. So I've got some little things I'm going to check out. So thank you for taking the time to put all this together. It's really quite awesome.